y'all, welcome back to another episode of Kingpin's Kitchen. Today, me and Bob are going to make something real special today. A little taste of hometown Foley. I'm talking down in the 251. So stay tuned as we whip it all up together and bring you a taste of home. For today's recipe, we're going to be making cornbread casserole. Now, nothing says South like casserole. And today's casserole is going to be quite corny. So what you're going to need for this, you're going to need a box of Jiffy corn muffin mix. Now, it's got to be Jiffy. It is America's favorite, as you can see. You're also going to need a half a cup of butter. You can use margarine if you want to, but I like some salted butter there. You can get you some of these minced onion flakes. We'll get you some of those. Get you a whole can of that sweet corn right there. Can of cream style corn. And you're going to need 2 eggs. That should be about all the ingredients you need. Well, this ain't going in there, but we're going to want that later. That's for me. Alright, for us to get started, you're going to need to melt you half a cup of butter. Now, for those of you not too handy in the kitchen, you got to take the wrapper off the butter first. Alright, so take the wrapper off the butter, put it in a microwavable dish. Then you're going to put it in the microwave. Now, microwave it about 20 seconds at a time, or it's going to explode, and your old lady's going to get pissed at you, because you know you ain't going to clean it up. So, melt you some butter up right quick. Alright, so after about 40 seconds in the microwave, you can see we've got the melted butter. We're all set for the next step. Next thing you're going to need is 2 eggs in this bowl right here. Well, that's not exactly what we had in mind. You're going to have to bust these eggs open. Try not to get no shell in them and put them inside this bowl right here. Now, once you got them eggs busted up, now you got to get you a fork, or you can get you a wire whisk, and you're going to whoop these eggs up right quick. Just get them kind of good and broke up. A little more broke up than that. It's got to be like Rascal Flatts broke up. You know, it ain't getting back together no more. Look at that. Them eggs is all ready to go. Let's go on to the next step. Now, once you got them eggs dealt with, you're going to want to get your corn. So again, you're going to want a can of whole kernel sweet corn right there. And you're going to want some of this cream style corn. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a life hack. You might not have learned this back in school, and I don't know if your meemaw may have shared this with you, but you can see when you go to the grocery, sometimes there's stuff on top of your cans. Get you a paper towel, kind of wet it up real quick, and just wipe the top of your cans off. Because whenever you're cutting the lids off these things, you don't want all that store stuff all falling in there. You never know what could be on that. So just wipe that off real good. And also, you want to make sure your blade on your can opener is cleaned regularly also. You don't want to get no botulism or ptomaine or whatnot, because you, like the rest of us, you got to go to work the next day. You don't need none of that drama there. So we're going to get these cans opened up right quick. All right. Just kind of scrape that off. There we go. Don't leave that hanging there, because it'll drip on the counter and your old lady get mad at you, because you know you ain't gonna clean it up. All right. Now we're gonna take these corns right back over here to the mixing area. Now that you got everything assembled back over here, you got to take this. I don't know how that ended up in there, but let's go ahead and do something with that. Twist that right off there. You can't be cooking anything southern without having a little bit of elixir to go with it. There we go. Let's get this started. All right, so your main ingredient, oh, you know what, before we get started, we might want to hot the oven up. So you want to go ahead and preheat your oven to 375. 375. Boom. Look at that. Don't need no algebra for that. So you want to take your Jiffy cornbread mix. If you ain't using Jiffy, you need to get out the kitchen because this stuff is awesome. You can do all kind of things with it besides just making cornbread. We'll be making something later this week with it. I never thought I'd be trying. So we're going to put our Jiffy mix in there. And then you'll notice it's kind of clumpy. You don't want that. So you want to take a whisk, just kind of break it on up like a high school kegger here. Just kind of get everybody kind of separated. You know, whoop, whoop, cops are coming. Just get this all busted up. Hopefully that didn't traumatize some of you guys. I know some of y'all watching this have lived through this. Not getting beat with a spatula, but getting a kegger busted up. Shame on y'all, because y'all need Jesus. Yeah, so do I. I was a good boy in school. It's hard to get in a lot of trouble when you're a band nerd, but I promise you, just because we was band nerds don't mean we didn't know how to start a bunch of stuff. That's for sure. We had our own drama. We had our own fun. That's for sure. Things we don't talk about. All right. So you see how that's all kind of, that's pretty good. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time because I'm hungry. All right. So we got our corn. We got our mix right in there. So whenever you're mixing things, you want to try to put all your dry stuff in first. So the next thing we're going to put in is, no, that ain't fingernail clippings. I know it looks like it, but that's onion flakes. So you're going to want to put a teaspoon of onion flakes in there. Just kind of mosey those on in there. Get in there. Oh man, they want to stick. You ain't doing that today. All right. Got all the onion flakes out of there. There you go, because you're going to want those. They're there for a reason. All right. Once you got your dry stuff, mix your dry stuff around so it's kind of blended. That's what they taught us in home ec. I know you're wondering, hey, you took home ec? I said, yeah. When I was in high school, all the guys was off taking shop, you know, wood shop, metal shop, and all that. Left the females alone in home ec. So where did I go? I went to home ec. Took it so I'd meet girls. Well, I met girls all right, but that was about the extent of it. But I'll tell you what, I can sew a mean apron though, and I can make biscuits. So it all worked out. All right, now you got all that blended up. You want to take your butter. Remember where you took the wrapper off of it. You don't want to be trying to eat that. So mix your butter right on in there. Okay. Then you got your 2 eggs. Throw those right on in there. Now, I know this is going to sound weird, but this corn here, you'll notice it is not drained. You want the liquid in there because the liquid is going to help make it a casserole. So I know, drain it. Nope, throw it on in there. You're going to want that liquid. Just like making a cobbler. You want that liquid on in there. All right, that's in there. It's smelling like Faux Town already. Now we're going to grab this cream corn right here. Pour that on in there. Now you can use any brand of vegetables that you want. I just got these because they were on sale. I do like Libby's versus the store brand, because store brand is kind of like, it's kind of like chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. So now that you got everything here in the bowl, you want to sit that down. You're leaving your partner over here unattended. Let's go ahead and get after that for a second. Let's get to feeling right. So next thing we're going to do is just go ahead and mix this all up. You don't want to beat it too much because you don't want to break all the corn kernels. The idea behind the corn casserole is that it is a casserole featuring corn. So we don't want to bust it all up. So you want to mix it around kind of gentle, you know, don't be too hard with it. I mean, you don't want to catch a charge or nothing like that and end up going to Robertsdale PD or something like that. Just go ahead and mix this on around. and get it all real nice and blended. All right, now once you got that all good and stirred around, see how it's kind of a good consistent mixture? I just like to wipe it away from the sides like that just to blend everything up. Remember, you don't want to beat up the kernels or nothing like that. You get in trouble. Then what I have here, this is my favorite casserole dish. It's an 8x8 dish. Get you a can of this here cooking spray right there, and you're going to just put a little bit of a light spray on it. It's kind of like you spraying a little bit of primer on your Chevelle there. That way your stuff don't stick to the bottom. And then we're going to take this mixture here. We're going to put it in our casserole dish here. Get all that good stuff out of there. Yeah, this recipe here come straight from my number 2. I'm not naming names because she knows who she is. But you got your number 1. That's your sweetie that you're married to. But sometimes you got to have one on standby in case your number 1 starts acting up. And you got one on standby to handle things for you. My number 2 handles my cooking sometimes. That's about it. But she is an awesome cook, and she let me have this recipe. So I don't know. Maybe it's get me to quit calling her all the time. Because every time I call her, I'm like, hey, where's my corn casserole? Where's my corn casserole? And she gave me the recipe, so maybe she wants me to quit calling. I don't know. So once you got that poured in there, kind of level it all out. Just like that. Just like you're working on a tile floor. You got your grout. Just level it all out real nice. Clean that up. And the oven ought to just about be ready to go. So we'll get ready to throw this in the oven here in just a minute. Now once your oven's all preheated to 375, you want to put your casserole in there. Now before we open it up, make sure your center rack, or I'm sorry, your cooking rack is in the middle. That way you get heat all moving around it, all jabberwocky like, so it all heats it evenly. All right, once you got that in place, get your casserole. Get ready to put that right on in there, just like that. Push that on up in there, kind of in the middle. Don't get yourself burnt. Go ahead and shut that. Now once you got that in there, go ahead and set your timer for 40 minutes. 40. Look, I'm doing math and I didn't even need to use algebra. Now at this point in the game, you got 40 minutes to kill. You could go outside, you can work on your car, you can go outside and go play with a dog, or you could do something that really turns a woman on. No, not that. She's probably got a headache. But I will tell you, nothing turns a woman on. I mean, nothing turns a woman on like a clean kitchen. Well, yeah. So while you got 40 minutes, you get in there and you clean that kitchen up. Watch what happens. It's like catnip. Well, now check out that clean counter right there. Now, I tell you what, you can just go ahead and cancel whatever plans you had made for tonight, big boy, because there is definitely a scheduled change in your future. Now, don't be some butthole and just put your dirty dishes in the sink. Wash them out, but at very least, go ahead and get them put in the dishwasher. Get it all cleaned up, because 60% of the time, a clean kitchen works every time. Okay, once our timer is up, it's time to take this out the oven. Take a look and see what it is we're working with right here. You want to grab you some of these hot pads. You don't want to burn yourself up, especially for later tonight since your plans done changed, right? So you want to take your casserole out. Now while you're looking at it, shut the oven so you don't let the heat out. Now, if you ever made cake before, we got to do the test to make sure that it's done. So you want to take you a knife right here, not your pocket knife. Get a clean knife out the drawer. Stick that in right there. Now you'll see that's got some stuff on it, so that ain't quite ready for prime time yet. So we're gonna put this right back in the oven. Tastes good. Well, we ain't gonna be using that knife again. That's got to go in the get washed up. So we're gonna put this back in the oven. Probably put it on probably another 5 minutes. We'll check her again. All right, so we put this back in the oven. We're gonna come back and check on it. See how we're doing. Put this one in for about 10 minutes. See how it looks. Pull that out. And shut that so we ain't gonna heat up the whole neighborhood. If I wanted to heat up the whole neighborhood, I'd just, step outside in this shirt right here. Then you're gonna take this clean knife. It's been cleaned. Stick that on down in there. Now you'll notice that's not all soupy like it was. Probably tested in a couple spots. Again, you'll see it comes out pretty clean. So we're gonna call that one good. So go ahead and cut your oven off. Then we're gonna let this cool for a little bit, and we're gonna sample it. See what it's now, like. If you got a cooling rack, it'd probably be best to just go ahead and take your casserole and put it on there. That way it'll help the air kind of circulate around the casserole so it kind of cools and whatnot, because you don't want to leave it on the stove because the stove's hot, and you don't want that bottom down there getting any hotter than it needs to be. So let that cool probably about 10 minutes. We'll come back and check it out. The time has finally arrived. This thing has cooled off, and now we're going to get us a spoon. We're going to sample it and see how well it turned out. Now this is not a meal by itself, obviously. It's a casserole, but you can serve it up with a lot of things. It's good with chicken, it's good with poultry, turkey, stuff like that. Look at that. Put that, serve that right up. Look at there. You can see all your corn in there. It's nice and moist. Sometimes things are best when they're moist. Man, this is smelling good too. You know what? I made this. I'm gonna get what I want. Well, folks, there you have it. Cornbread casserole, straight out of the 251. Special thanks to my number 2, Trisha, for sending us that recipe. So now I guess I ain't got to call him a bugger no more. But, it is what it is. I got it now. I don't need you anymore anyway. Ha ha! I'm just kidding. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching our video. Be sure to like and subscribe and keep up with us as we make more videos in the future. If there's something you want to see us make, drop a comment below, let us know, and keep an eye out on future content. Thanks for watching.